Before we start, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, can you please tell me where and what time you're watching? Thanks. Disturbed, intrusive thoughts crackled in her mind, pressing down on the silence between us. I hesitated before asking, "Should we do it?" She blinked. "Do what, Ravi?" "Hide her again." "Hide where?" She countered. Ravi exhaled. "I don't know." She shifted uncomfortably. "I mean, we're already in my apartment. That should be safe enough, right?" A pause. Then Ravi shook his head. "Let's not lose our heads." His voice wavered. "This is insane." "Or maybe not," I said. "It's not like we're literally hiding, right?" Hero snapped his fingers. "What if it's just viral marketing? Like for a movie?" His attempt at levity barely lightened the mood. "Hacking our phones so we can't use them?" I frowned. "That's a little outside Lionsgate's jurisdiction." H turned to Evelyn, but she masked the flicker in her eyes too late. Something had clicked. Without a word, she turned and began scanning Ravi's apartment. "What are you doing?" Ravi asked, trailing her. Hero and I exchanged glances before following. "I don't care if I look stupid. It could be a warning," she muttered. "Maybe something's happening." "We're in a box inside a box," Ravi argued. "We're fine." "But the thing..." She gestured to the TV, then to her phone. "It says hide. What if it's literal?" She continued scouting, finally stopping at Ravi's bedroom closet, her best option in his cramped 600-square-foot apartment. "This will do, unless you have a better idea," she said, glancing at Ravi. He hesitated, then sighed. She squeezed past his hanging clothes, scooting to the back. "I'm closing the door. If you're really my friends, you'll join me." A beat of silence. Then Hero spoke first. "I mean, I guess it's better to be safe, right?" He stepped in. I wavered for a second before relenting. "Fine, but you guys get to laugh at me forever if this is dumb." "We win either way," she called as Hero wedged himself beside her. A compelling argument. With a sigh, I ducked inside, pressing against Ravi's dress shirts. There was still room. After a moment, Ravi groaned, gave in, and squeezed inside, sliding the door shut. Darkness swallowed us. I checked my phone. Same font, same message. Hide. "How long do we stay?" Ravi whispered. 5 minutes, Evelyn replied. He huffed. "Great." Silence settled, the distant tick-tick of the living room clock a strange comfort. It felt ridiculous, almost fun. "Remember when we went camping at Sunlight Groves?" Hero asked. "Glamping," Ravi corrected. "Evelyn thought she saw a bear," Hero teased. "It was dark," she defended. "It looked like a bear." Hero laughed. "A bear? In that sad patch of trees?" "Guys, shut up," Ravi interrupted. "If we're doing this, let's commit before the demon doll comes for us." Surprisingly, there was no bitterness in his voice. We fell silent again. I checked my phone. Hide. Nonsense. All of it. But the unease curled tighter in my stomach. "What do you think it is?" Hero whispered. I shook my head. Evelyn exhaled. Ravi took a deep breath before murmuring, "Obviously, it's sophisticated." His voice was low. Like, "Yeah, it's something." I waved my phone. "My bank app is bricked. That's not nothing." "They'll figure it out," Ravi muttered. Then, pounding at the apartment door, a voice, muffled but urgent. "Ravi, you there?" Evelyn tensed. "Who is that?" "A skinwalker," Ravi deadpanned. "Kidding, it's my neighbor, Monica." Evelyn reached across Hero and tugged Ravi's sleeve. "Are you sure?" "Yes," he hesitated. "I should probably get it." "You said 5 minutes," she reminded. "Yeah, but I'm being a pretty trash neighbor right now." The knocking persisted. So did the voice. "I have this weird thing on my phone. Brad has it too. It says hide. TV, same thing. Computer, same thing. I don't know what's happening." Ravi exhaled sharply. "This is stupid. I'm going to—" "No," Evelyn cut in. But suddenly, he stopped. We all did. Something shifted. The knocking was gone. No ticking clock, no rustling clothes, nothing. Like the world had inhaled and refused to exhale, like something was just beyond the closet door. Then, a sharp sting of static in my ear. It passed. Whatever it was, the feeling lifted, sound returned, and I stole a glance at my phone. The word hide was gone, replaced by my home screen. The silence between us was thick, suffocating. "Did you feel that?" Evelyn finally whispered. No one answered. Ravi slowly reached for the closet door again, but his hand trembled. "You got this," I murmured. "I think we're good." He steeled himself, like he was crossing some invisible threshold, then slid the door open. Nothing had changed. His room was exactly as we'd left it. We stared for a long moment before Ravi exhaled shakily. "I'm gonna check on Monica." His voice lacked conviction, but he stood and crept out. We followed, stopping in the living room while he continued to the door. I pulled out my phone, opened Twitter, and searched HIDE, sorting by new. Evelyn grabbed the remote, flicked the TV on, and navigated through the Roku menu. "What are you looking for?" Hero asked. "A live channel," she muttered. "The news." My search results weren't helpful, just post after post of confused people, clearly from all over the world. Whatever happened, it was global. A chill ran through me. My focus shifted to Ravi, standing on the welcome mat, his hand pressed against the doorframe. He wasn't moving. "You good, man?" I asked. No response. He just stood there, frozen. I approached cautiously. She's... His voice cracked. I placed a hand on his shoulder, gently pulling him back from the peephole. He finally detached, stumbling backward before sliding down the wall, legs giving out. Dread clawed up my spine as I stepped forward and peered through the hole. Outside, in the dimly lit hallway, Ravi's neighbor, the one who had been knocking, was mangled, skewered. Blood had exploded across the corridor. I stumbled back, stomach lurching. Then, my phone buzzed. I pulled it out, hands shaking. Before I could even process what I was looking at, Ravi and Evelyn reacted. "There's another one," Ravi croaked. "Again!" The word glowed on my phone screen. I turned. The TV mirrored it. Again. "Should we hide?" Hero blurted. Like Ravi, I felt completely paralyzed. "Ajay!" Hero called, snapping me back. "What do we do?" I swallowed hard. "Evelyn." My voice felt weak, like the air had been sucked from my lungs. "You had good instincts the first time. What do you think?" She hesitated. How much time passed? Between when we first saw Hyde and when we felt that thing? Maybe 10 minutes. Ravi muttered, voice hollow. "I don't..." Then Evelyn stiffened. "Wait, what exactly did you see outside?" She stepped toward the door. I blocked her path. "I don't think you should see it." Her eyes widened. "Are you serious?" "Yes," I said firmly. It was bad enough in my head. She didn't need to see it with her own eyes. A beat. "We can't assume we have the same amount of time," Ravi added. I exhaled, forcing my brain to think. "Do we try the same hiding spot?" Hero started pacing, running a hand through his hair. "If we think about it, the first message said hide and we hid. Now it says again. That means whatever happened before is about to happen again." He looked at us, the weight of his words settling in. "That's a great recap, man," I muttered. He groaned. "What I mean is, think about when you played hide and seek as a kid. If you keep picking the same spot, eventually you get caught." "You're seriously trying to apply logic to this?" Ravi mumbled. Evelyn squared her shoulders. "Number?" "But I think he's right." She hesitated. "And I hate that I'm saying this, but we need to trust our gut. And my gut says we pick better spots this time." "Spots makes it sound like we're splitting up," I said, scanning the apartment. The realization hit me like a punch to the stomach. In this cramped space, Splitting up actually made sense. I turned to Ravi. Where? He palmed his forehead, smacking it lightly as if trying to force his brain to function. Under my bed, he muttered, grimacing. His eyes darted around, one in the utility closet, one in the laundry closet. He stood up, moving with sudden purpose, pointing as he spoke. One of the closets was directly behind me. I met Hero and Evelyn's eyes. Without a word, they bolted for the bedroom. Ravi gave me a nod before slipping into the laundry closet, awkwardly squeezing himself between the washer and dryer before pulling the door shut. I turned to my own hiding place, the utility closet, and stepped inside, reaching for the door. It wouldn't click shut. Panic spiked through me. Ravi, the door, I started, but then forced myself to stop. If time was up, talking could compromise my spot. Hell, it could compromise his spot too. I tried again. Click, damn it. Nothing. My breath came too fast, my hands trembling. I had no choice. I held the handle tight and kept the door pressed shut. My heart hammered as the silence swallowed everything again. And then, it returned. That same presence. A soft tug at the door. I held firm, not pulling back, not resisting too hard, just existing. Then, just as suddenly as it came, it vanished. The feeling lifted. The air unfroze. I waited 15 agonizing seconds before daring to peek at my phone. The warning again was gone. A door creaked open. Ravi. I exhaled hard and pushed mine open too. He looked shaken. I forgot. The door locks. I panicked and You're good, I cut in. We're good. We're alive, man. But then a gut-wrenching realization hit me. Evelyn. Hero. Ravi's eyes met mine. Right. We rushed to the bedroom. Nothing. No movement. For a split second, I had the horrifying thought that we'd have to pull their corpses out from under the bed. Guys, I called. Coast is clear. Silence. Then, shuffling. They crawled out, slowly shifting from all fours to crouching to standing, alive. Relief crashed over me. For a fleeting moment, I wanted to hold them. All of them. To just breathe together. Alive. Then, buzz. My phone. I checked the screen. Break time. I exhaled sharply, flipping it around for the others to see. I guess that's good, Evelyn said hesitantly, a second to actually catch our breath after all that. But then what? Ravi asked, voice raw. Is this just going to keep happening? We drifted toward the living room together, still rattled, still trying to process. Evelyn frowned. Something about her shifted. I noticed. Hey, Eve, I started. How'd you know we should have stayed in the closet for 5 minutes? Hero looked at her, tone more pointed than mine. Yeah, you seem pretty sure. Her eyes flashed with something, annoyance. I didn't know, she said flatly. It was a guess, but yeah. You guys were lucky I was here and pushed for it. Because honestly, you all were being stubborn. Hero gave her a strange look. Sounds like you want to say something more. Why would I? She countered. What makes you think? Ravi suddenly stepped between them. Holy hell, can we all keep our heads on? His voice was steady, but something about him felt off. Like he was holding something back, like he wanted us to fight. Something inflamed in me, a heat rising like a spark in dry grass. Hero, I think you're focusing your skepticism in the wrong direction, I said carefully. Ravi's expression twitched. I saw it. It was small, but I saw it. You sure you want to be mad at the person who saved us? I motioned to Evelyn, but when I looked at her, something felt wrong there too. A new realization hit me like a wrecking ball. Or, I continued, pulse spiking, the person who wanted to open the closet door. The air shifted. Then, another realization. Wait, Ravi. I turned to him, something snapping into place in my mind. You tried to kill me. My stomach dropped. Everything clicked. My hands curled into fists as fury flooded my veins. Evelyn and Hero tensed, their attention snapping to him too. Ravi's face twisted, incredulous. What? I already told you I panicked. I admitted it to you. Why are you? But he stopped himself, because he saw it. He saw us closing in. He took a step back, then another. His shoulders hit the kitchen cabinets. His eyes darted to me, then to Evelyn, then to Hero. Then, suddenly, he pointed at me. You were on your phone when this first happened, he accused, his voice raw. His eyes flickered with realization. You were waiting for it to start. I barked a bitter laugh. That's an insane misdirect. But suddenly, doubt crept in. Not in myself, in them. I looked at Evelyn, at Hero, at Ravi, and I realized I couldn't trust any of them. He had to be the first to go, the first to be dealt with. Grabbing a knife from the cupboard, he held it out toward us, and only a faint voice in the back of my mind warned me that we were being toyed with. It was so painfully obvious that whatever this was, it had complete control over us. But that realization was useless to me. I kept finding thread after thread of thought, emotion, and logic weaving together, all making perfect sense. My emotions flared. Break time, Evelyn said. It was breaking us. Of course she would know that. But if she was in on it? We all turned to her. I watched closely for any sudden movements from these traitors, these bastards. Even the smallest shift wouldn't escape me. It's overriding us, she said. It's flooding us with anger that isn't ours, as real as it feels. She held up her phone toward us, the screen clearly displaying the words, break time. We can't fall to it. Something small and grounded inside me took over, even though I was so sure, with everything in me, that she, Ravi, and Hero were behind this. Ravi's grip on the knife tightened, but none of us moved. The four of us remained locked in a tense, bizarre standoff. It's all of you. That was my last thought before a sudden lightness washed over me, like a gnawing hunger finally subsiding, or the moment terror vanishes when you realize that noise in the other room wasn't an intruder, just something tipping over. The paranoia was gone. My phone screen returned to its normal background. I could hardly describe how I felt. Lucid, ashamed. I glanced at Ravi. His head was hanging low as he quietly returned the knife to its place. Hero turned to Evelyn first. I'm sorry, he said. Then to Ravi. Sorry. Then to me. Sorry, guys. Ravi echoed. I'm sorry. You're welcome, Evelyn said flatly. We deserved that. That was insane, Ravi muttered. Like a messed up roller coaster, Evelyn agreed. That wasn't totally me, Hero said, his voice unsteady. Like something was inside me, and it was. It's okay, man, I replied, though I was tired of saying it. And honestly, after what was in my head just 30 seconds ago, I didn't deserve to be forgiving anyone. We need to write this down, Ravi said. Like we're susceptible, we can't forget. We just need to keep our heads on, I cut in. Remember. But I could tell Ravi was scared another message might pop up on our phones at any second. He started rummaging for paper, scribbling something down while the rest of us just tried to soak in the silence, the luxury of nothing happening every half second. I wanted to apologize another 20 times, and I knew I wasn't alone in that feeling. I feel like I'm losing myself, I admitted. It feels like a dream, Ravi said. Yeah, Hero murmured, scanning our faces. We're probably all going to die. Should we, say our last words? Don't talk like that, Evelyn snapped. Hero stared at her. How many people do you think are dead? I turned on the TV, momentarily free from the 1 or 2 word commands that had been plaguing us. Scrolling through the homepage, I found a live soccer game. The camera was still. The stadium was in ruins. The players on the field, at least the ones visible on screen, were torn apart. I backed out and searched for a different live broadcast. I clicked on a news channel I'd never heard of before. An empty desk appeared on the screen. Cables trailed underneath, making me think maybe the anchor was hiding. A voice broke the silence. We are trying to report, knowing the signal will cut out. I've survived so far, whatever this is, but the carnage from the footage I've seen is extensive. I strongly recommend. The broadcast flickered. A new word appeared, sharp and bold. Seek. It pulsed in classic eerie lettering. Then the screen cracked. A loud pop sent shards of glass scattering across the floor. The phone I had placed on the coffee table shattered. Evelyn and Hero's phone slipped from their hands and hit the ground. A weak buzzing sound filled the room. I panicked. Seek, I muttered, forcing my brain to snap to attention. Seek, Evelyn echoed. What if we have to find what's killing? Everyone, Hero said. I started, but the words caught in my throat. I ran to the balcony, hoping for some kind of clue. Something obvious in the sky, in the city. My eyes darted from building to building. Blood-stained curtains. Bodies, unrecognizable ones, where the blinds were lifted. I scanned frantically, and then in one of the neighboring apartments I saw it. A TV. The screen looked intact. There was a word on it, but I couldn't quite make it out. 5 letters, the best I could guess. "It's the screens!" I shouted. "We need to find a screen that still works." I rushed back into the living room. "Does anyone have binoculars?" They all just stared at me. "Why the hell would anyone have binoculars?" Ravi asked. There's a screen," I stammered, "in one of the other apartments. It's working. There's a word, but I can't see it. We need to find another one." I didn't wait for a response. I ran into Ravi's office, his computer screen shattered, grabbed his laptop, broken. Nope. Nervously, I tapped my fingers against my chest as the others scrambled through the apartment, searching for anything that might still be working. Did I have to go into the other building? Would there even be enough time? How would I get inside? Then, like lightning striking, it hit me. "Ravi, where's your phone?" He sounded confused. "I don't know, man. I lose it all the time." "Find it. You really think that's it?" "We're looking for a functioning screen. It's the only one we haven't ruled out yet." I turned to Hero next. "Check the other apartments on this floor. See if any doors are unlocked. If they are, go inside. Check everything. Phones, laptops, TVs, it doesn't matter. Just see if there's a message intact on any of them." "On it!" he shouted, rushing to the door. It swung open. He froze at the sight of a body in the hallway, nearly tripping over it. Then, shaking it off, he bolted out and disappeared down the corridor. The rest of us tore apart Ravi's apartment. Couch cushions. "Where do you usually lose it?" I asked, breathless. "I don't know, man," Ravi said, just as desperate. "It's stupid, but sometimes I literally just chuck it across the room." Helpful. Supremely helpful. I ran to the bathroom, checked the medicine cabinet, then back to his room, closet, pants pockets. The inevitable loomed over me like a shadow. This was the one. This was the mistake that was going to kill us. "I love you guys," Evelyn murmured under her breath. It was barely audible, but I heard it, like she could feel it too. No countdown, no warning, just a feeling. A train speeding toward us while we were tied to the tracks. Ravi dove behind the TV stand, searching under books, under shelves. I stood frozen in the living room, scanning the chaos, my eyes falling on the game we had started our deadly evening with, Monopoly. Ravi's side of the board. A messy pile of 50s, 20s, and 10s. I knew his habit. He was terrible at swapping bills for hundreds. He always let them stack up. It made sense. He'd been crushing the whole game. But something didn't add up. I dropped to my knees and frantically swept through the pile. And there it was, Ravi's phone. A preserved Samsung Galaxy, a 35 buried beneath the fake money. The screen was on. A new word stared back at me. Smile. And this time it really did feel like time was up. "I found it!" I screamed, my voice sharp, frantic, wild. "You have to smile." I sounded like a goddamn auctioneer. Evelyn turned first from the kitchen. What? I ripped the phone from the ground and shoved the screen toward her. Smile. She mirrored my expression, teeth bared, an uncomfortable, forced grin. Ravi bolted out of the room before even seeing the message, reacting purely to the panic in my voice. Hero threw open the door, panting. I couldn't find anything. I'm sorry, he yelled. His eyes landed on our forced white-knuckled smiles, our desperate screaming eyes. I tried to mouth the word to him while holding my expression, but it just came out as sm. And yet by some miracle, some impossible stroke of luck, he understood. Hero flashed his teeth, a perfect, terrified grin. I held my own smile as a single tear slid down my cheek. My eyes never left Ravi's phone, praying, pleading that it was enough. And then, the word disappeared. I turned the phone toward the group. One by one, we were still alive. Our forced, cheery expressions faded, slipping back into default nervous frowns. Resting skull faces restored, a collective exhale. I can't do this, Ravi muttered. I know, Evelyn added. And unlike the gaps we'd been afforded before, I already saw it. A new message on the only remaining functional phone in my trembling hand. Point to sacrifice. I felt the weight of their stares. The misery was impossible to hide. What? Ravi asked, voice tight. Point to sacrifice, I echoed, barely above a whisper. IJ? Evelyn asked. I tilted the phone toward them so they could read it themselves. My body wouldn't let me say the words any louder. Below the message, a timer had already begun ticking down. 1:45, 1:44, 1:43. Even after showing them we still needed more seconds to let it sink in. This time I felt truly defeated. All right, Ravi cut through the silence. So what, we talk it through? Use the time we have left? Maybe we all just agree on someone to point at? He let out a dry laugh. I mean, hey, who knows what I even have to live for? Hero spoke next. My family, mom, dad, siblings. I wasn't even thinking about them this whole time. His voice cracked. They're probably all dead. Yeah, I interrupted, the reality hitting me so hard I forgot any last shred of social etiquette. Everyone I had ever known was likely gone. Wow. Evelyn smiled softly. I just have you guys now, she admitted. Then, without hesitation, she pointed at herself. I almost screamed, terrified she'd be torn apart on the spot. But the counter kept ticking. 1 to 12, 1 to 11, 1 to 10. I flipped the board on this, Evelyn declared, unwavering. Hero pointed to himself next. Yeah, you know what? Me too. I turned to him, exasperated. Really? After everything? 107, 106, 105. If there's a hell, Ravi said. Unlikely, but what the hell? Maybe we dodged that bullet. And then, curling his index finger toward himself, he smirked. Flip the board. I just stared at him. A strange feeling washed over me. A flood of selfish thoughts, one after another. 040, 039, 038. All right, I sighed, giving in. Let's do it. I pointed at myself too, like we were playing Simon Says. 033, 032, 031. I took a long look at my old friends, the longest standing friends I'd ever had, then at the Monopoly board. God, it really was a terrible game. Why had we played it so often? 027, 026, the pile of money on free parking. 023, 022. The only way to make it fun was to play with house rules. 020, 019. Wait, I blurted. Follow me. I sprinted to the door, throwing it open. 015, 014, 013. I pointed at Ravi's dead neighbor, sprawled in the hallway. Monica. They all froze. We didn't know what we were dealing with until she died, I said, almost looking up, like I was addressing whoever was pulling the strings. Her sacrifice gave us a chance. I knew it was a reach, 009008, and we've probably lost a lot of humanity since then. So, sorry, I murmured, pointing at her. And thank you. 006, 005. My best friends followed suit, their voices overlapping in a surreal, morbid harmony. Sorry. Thank you. A clash of last words. I had interrupted a perfectly bittersweet moment for this madness. 002001000. House rules, I whispered. I braced for it. Pain, annihilation, but nothing. Instead, Ravi's phone flickered in my hands. Good game. Then, his home screen appeared. His wallpaper, a Borzoi dog. He didn't even own one, just obsessed with the breed. We stood there for what felt like 10 minutes, silent, stunned. Finally, like polite zombies, we filed back inside, one by one. I didn't know what to think, what to do, who to check on, the state of the world, the state of us. I sat back down at the Monopoly board, and the others, in an almost Manchurian candidate-like trance, took their seats too. I think it's my turn, I murmured. I reached for the dice. Rolled. A 10th. I moved my top hat token, tapping each square as I counted. Landed on Short Line Railroad. Do you want to buy it? Evelyn asked. I thought about it for too long. Finally, sure,